preparing these horses and sending them.
Broadcasting live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report, coming to you live. Saratoga Race Course in front of Clare Court, alongside Seth, Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino, and we're starting week 3. And it's only July 24th, Seth. And I know there are probably people out there going, why would he make such a note of that? Well, because we'd usually be a week away from opening day in our youth. With this calendar, I suspect July 31st would be opening day. And we'd run till about August 27th with Tuesdays off. But that was a long time ago. And I mean, it's funny, Seth. I often think of, I think I mentioned this last year, where basically I used the broadsheet for about, on a regular basis, for about 13, 14 years, late 70s to 90. Oh, no. So, yeah, about 14, 15 years. So I've been, then I used the West Coast edition style, the tabloid one, for like 30 years. But it just seems like the broadsheet, because of what had happened in my life. And it's been, this is the part we both, I think, kind of surprised at, it's been twice as long a non-24-day meet as it was a 24-day meet for me.
Yeah, again, that kind of stuff, I always guess wrong much sooner.
Okay.
What was that? There was a movie yesterday that I was looking up and realized was 20 years old, and I would have guessed about 10.
I'm good on timeline things.
Well,
you probably could guess that.
Yeah, that's
you probably could guess that.
That is not.
What was the movie?
I'm trying to think what it was and where it came up.
It doesn't. You already spoiled the water saying that. But no, matter of fact, when you had Nick Zito here the other day, and he was waiting in the green room because he wasn't your first guest, so we were talking. And Nick made a statement. I said, Nick, I'll bet the next 10 years' salary that's not the right answer. But he told me where he got tripped up. He was like, oh, the 5-week race meet, that started in the late 90s ago. No, 1991. And but what he was thinking was the 6-week meet started in 97 or around there. So I was like, well, I'm usually good at timeline things, for not as good as our son, but pretty good. But Sunday, great day for the home team. And by the way, I said it was just one of the great days of my life with my best friends and our wives. And we needed to leave before the 11th. And in my youth, I would have met them at dinner. But I'm more subtle, so I was like, I want you to know, I really wanted to see what Flavian Prat can do with Hush of a Storm from an impossible. We were in the turf terrace. He would have been right under my chin. And so we go out, we have a great dinner. It was one of the probably maybe top 5 nights of my life. It was just a great day with it. And, you have 4 winners in double digits, and, you turn the page on this meet. And it's now been 89 days, Seth, with Saratoga and Del Mar. We are in the black, thanks to Immersive, who I can't believe paid $20. I mean, I just can't believe the first time. Runner, first timer from Godolphin, and then 2 races later, Hush of a Storm. And, here's the thing. I said it. If he'd have drawn inside, Seth, he might have been the favorite. But because of that post, he's 7-1. And I said it, he could do, best he could do was the 3-path going in the first turn. But he was like way back. But then when I saw the internal fractions, which I don't believe, by the way, but I knew they were moving, I saw 23, 46, 110. How's this? A New York bred Hush of a Storm, according to data, went 5.80 the final 16th of a mile. That's almost Turco Man-like to close. But if you believe the teletimer, he tripped the teletimer at 134.10 at the 16th pole, and then 139.9, which I'm going to look up later today. I'm guessing is the fastest New York bred mile 16th race on the main. But the rails are up, so I'm a non-believer. But I'm a believer in 1680, baby.
Yeah, I like that one too in the finale. That was I had a decent day myself, and I'm just looking to string a few together here with the top picks. But if you mix up the picks, it was a really good day. I had a good day, and the pick 3 bankroll, we hit the first for 160, and then it played out well, just the way we wanted to in the last one.
You got 6 weeks to get a half.
The last one, we were alive in the last leg for $100, $190 at 381. And as we went into the last leg, I'm like, because it was that Chad Brown runner.
But you said you had Husher, you didn't hit it?
No, it wasn't my last pick 3. It was the next to the last race, was the last leg.
Right. Moore's Law, $30.
Yeah, Moore's Law. Because I sat there. And Sunday, we're all done with TV and everything, so I was just kind of sitting and watching and playing for a while. And the more I looked at that horse, the more I fell in love with it. And I thought I should have had this on the pick 3 ticket. And the pick 3 paid like $600, and I did not have more. But I hammered Moore's Law personally because it was just one of those that it'll happen a few times during the meet. You handicap the race 2 days before, but then you're sitting there, you're looking at the tote board, and you're looking at the BPs, and just the more I looked at that horse, the more I really liked it. And as I say, I kicked myself. So we hit the first one, and we were alive into the last leg in the second one, and just couldn't get it through. But everybody
how
got
many
money.
horses did you have?
3.
Okay.
I had, like I say, I was alive for 100, 190, and 380.
I mean, for me, I would have only needed Moore's Law for the $25,000 pick 5. I didn't play one. I'm just saying, Awesome Check was easy, and I had the 3 others. I was like, so I'm trying to get a feel for. I don't think there's any way I would have had Moore's Law. I wouldn't have hit the all button. I'm kind of an anti-all button guy. But it was it's been a good meet so far. But boy, what a Saturday and Sunday! But really nice day. We went out. It was real, and the weather was perfect. Kept our jackets on and the surf. It's just a beautiful day. And roomy, very roomy. And I had one old curmudgeon in our group was against the first floor. But I am so 2 thumbs up with the first floor, but he is an old curmudgeon. I'm like old, but I like change. I think that's atypical of when you get older. I like the change. I think it's fantastic.
I like it, but as I say, as people were complaining, they took down the tote board, the odds. And when I first heard that, I thought, But then I have now realized, because I'm still doing it. I sit there, I'll be watching on that screen. I sit there, they come under the wire. I look to see what the odds, because Naira does what a lot of tracks do, and I can't figure out. Maybe I'm alone, but to me, the question, what do people most want to see after they come under the wire? I want to see the odds. But most tracks wait and they go, and there's like a little bit before they put the odds back on the screen.
But when Husher Storm runs by, he's 7-1.
I'm saying in races that I'm watching sometimes, even if it's a horse I haven't used, it's like, was this a favorite or a long, and you look and I want to see I want to know what the odds are.
Aren't the odds on the screen?
No, that's what I'm saying. As you watch the race, but they take them off at about the 8th hole. And they don't come back up on until 30 seconds after the race. And that, to me, I want to see the odds. And a lot of tracks, the first thing they put up, which I can't figure out, Gulfstream does that. They put up the pools. And they're like, I don't care what the pool is. It's I want to know what the odds are so I can kind of calculate.
They usually do that at the 3-minute mark.
What?
The pools. It's on a schedule.
Oh, no, I'm saying tracks, Gulfstream does it. I don't know whether these guys do it, but they come under the wire, and the first piece of information that comes up is the pools after they come under the wire. I don't.
Okay.
That's I'm not intrigued in that. I want to know what the odds are.
In due time, because I'm like, either you have the ticket tonight, you're getting paid, unless you have Value Muse, or you're not getting paid. But that's a different thing. What I like is what I can't figure out, because the tracks own the place. Why is the camera not on the finish line?
I assume tracks where it's not right on the finish line, there's some physical reason for that. But
I built a platform.
At least these guys do now have the slow-mo on the. Tampa was the first one. I did it years ago on Equidale. I wrote, everybody should have that. Tampa was the first one that put a stationary camera. It doesn't go, there's no pan. It just looks at the finish line. Race gets over. They show
We all
the
know
slow-mo.
Tampa has the most resources in the world, so no wonder they could do it more than anybody. But the other thing,
Everybody should do it.
We had the inner turf course. We had the head-on. It wasn't a head-on.
Oh, but then they go to a head-on now. No, but now which I can't figure out. They'll show the four, if there's a, DQ they're looking at, a possible DQ. They show the 4 boxes, and you're right, one of them is not.
It's almost pointless.
Then they take the 4 box down and they put one that clearly is on some kind of moving camera.
Yes,
it's a head-on.
I've always said that there should be like a plank up there, and you just move the camera based on the rail settings.
Yeah, no.
So, and today we are on the turf. It's, I don't know, what would you say? A chance of rain today? I guess there's a chance of rain almost every day, but right now it's fine. It's been overcast for over an hour, so let me just, I'm guessing there are showers in the area. Is that's because I was, tiptoeing through my Thursday selections, because today and Thursday rain is a thing. It's a big thing today, so good luck there. I did not get the Times Union today, so I do not know what the score is between the good guys and the Times Union guys. So we'll find that out later. But things are looking up.
All right, let me hit you with some of the promos that are coming up today, as every Wednesday during the month. Prize Wheel Day at the Clubhouse Racebook. That means free admission as well. If you stop by the Racebook this afternoon, folks who get randomly selected throughout the day, you spin the prize wheel, maybe win a little extra something. And again, free admission on Prize Wheel Wednesdays. Tomorrow, it's a $100 Play the Board contest at the Clubhouse Racebook. You can have a little extra fun with that. Friday, Fan Appreciation Day at the Broadway Lanes Easy Bet. So if you're a patron of Broadway Lanes, swing on by and give us our chance to say thank you to you on Friday afternoon. Friday is also a $100 knockout challenge at the Clubhouse Racebook. Saturday, it's King of the Hill. Again, the brand new contest going on at the Clubhouse Racebook on Saturday. Saturday also brings back the bounty bet. Little extra dough in the bounty bet for this week. Don't forget, the bounty bet now is on Saturdays during the Saratoga meet, and it is the final pick 5 of the day. And again, every Sunday's $150 pick 3 bankroll. We're coming close to hitting a couple of them and having a nice payoff. We'll see what we can do this week. But you get your chance to be on the team when entries open online on Friday for the pick 3 bankroll. Coming up at 10 o'clock, Racing Across America. We will be joined by, I think, Sean Clancy, but one of our friends at the Saratoga Special will stop by. We'll also be visited by Tom Amello for some trip notes and more. All of that at 10 o'clock. On Racing Across America.
I'm just trying to do a quick, probably should have done this before this, how favorites are doing at the meet. Do you have?
It's going to be on my rundown here. Favorites
I'm thinking they're 32.
31%. Meet to date, 29 out of 93 races. 31%.
Really? I have to go back because I have 32 for 93, but my math might be wrong based on color coding, because I have some second choices that have interceded the favorites.
I would assume this is right. You have the number of races right.
31 favorites have won out of 93. I have 93 races. Is that what they have?
Yeah.
All right, so it's 31 for 93, so yes.
So you're saying they're wrong?
No, I had one more.
They've got 29.
They have 29 favorites?
Yeah, 31%.
Well, 31 for 93 would be very close to 31%. 29 for 93 would not be close to 31%.
I'm
Maybe
just
close to
I'm
29.
just reading off the sheet.
No,
I'm not
ne-
doing the math.
Never trust other people. I don't trust Equibase. I don't trust anybody. So you're saying they're
I'm thinking 29 for 93 is pretty close to 31%.
Okay, it is. I'd be interested to see which ones. I do start with the premise that I got it wrong, but I have. Okay, I will go back and look ardently and see who they have. But no, I don't trust them. I don't. I just, like I said, you go to Equibase, you look up one of the great performances of all time, In Excess, his Woodward, which was the last of his 4 in a row. I would bet $10,000 it's wrong. And I've told you the other times when I'm like, just send it off to Equibase.
This isn't Equibase.
No.
This is Naira.
Yeah, Naira's things. Yeah. So they have 31 favorites.
No, they have 29 favorites, 31%.
I gotta look up. I'm looking that up. Oh, okay, Dino. But we'll see. 29 favorites. All right. I like today's card, but the weather is the problem.
Play of the day.
Play of the day. Yes. Race 6, I understand. Time for the DePaula play of the day.
It's time to think DePaula and drive for less. Pick your Chevy, pick your payment, and DePaula delivers. Or every Chevy, 0 down payment, 0 first payment, 0 security.
So come join the family and think DePaula for all your automotive needs.
Hey everybody, it's Steve Bick getting ready to start week 3 for the DePaula play of the day. And it's going to be one of the New York bred long on the turf races that I reach for. It's the 6th race. These are fillies and mares looking for a second level allowance win. Let's go to the 9. Snowy evening for David Donk. Donk with just 3 board hits so far, off to a slowish start. But Snowy Evening could bring it all together and get him off the duck, dropping down from the stakes try in the Port Washington. And last time at the same company, same level, missed by a half to the very nice determined Lily. I think that's Trombetta, is going to have to be forward with Jose Ortiz, who has won with her a couple of different times. So 6-1, Snowy Evening, the DePaula play of the day, my kind of horse. And I think she starts week 3 off right. Good luck, everybody. Back with you tomorrow. I'll be coming to you from the National HBPA Convention at Prairie Meadows in Altoona, Iowa. Good luck today.
It's time to think DePaula and drive for less. Pick your Chevy, pick your payment, and DePaula delivers. Or every Chevy, 0 down payment, 0 first payment, 0 security.
So come join the family and think DePaula for all your automotive needs.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Old-time 9-race card this afternoon. Seth, we kick it off with maiden special weights going 6.
I have a 2, 4, 8, and 5. I'll give you a little more info on Beach Blanket, who I have underneath. That's my dark horse play. But I'm going to put McCaw on top. So our friend Roddy Valente claimed this horse down at Churchill, a Kentucky bred. So Roddy seemed to have been playing a little bit down at Churchill this spring and got this one out of a close-up second-place finish. They raised the horse up, showed a little life before fading late. Now they come back up to New York, move into the barn of Linda Rice. And I think on the class move, could be shopping for a win. So I'll put McCaw on top. That one's 4-5 on the morning line, but my dark horse plays 10-1, 12-1, Beach Blanket. And again, I'll give you a little more info on that when we go over the dark horse play of the day in a couple of minutes. And Conniving in the 3rd spot. Last couple of starts, I think are going to be a good fit with this bunch. They were at 40, 4 or 40 tag, dropped down to the 20 level today. So I think Conniving, again, is moving into what might be the comfort zone. I have a 2, 4, 8, and 5.
5-1-2 to keep the Flavian Prat. He and Manny had 4 and 4. They left 3 crumbs on the table for the rest of the colony.
And then was it the day before Dylan had 4?
Yeah, so 4 was a magic number. So just taking a small little shot here with Shaking the Bell for Rudy Rodriguez, coming off of a beaten odds on favorite race. Comes back about a month later. I think fits at this level for second. I have 2 tons of fun running for a tag for the first time. You go back to the race 2 races back. I think that type of effort here would be extremely competitive. And then I have McCall, Verratti, and Mary Valenti. So 5-1-2 in today's opener.
Race number 2 this afternoon, scheduled for the turf. And again, we're the weather is,
we're hoping
right now is okay. There's a horse out there. He looks reluctant to walk into the track. He's standing in the middle of the street and dancing around. And the rider's trying to, oh, that's funny. It's
and
like
the guard, he's a very calm guy. He hasn't moved off his post. Okay, there you go. He took a few
moved
steps.
back. That is what the horse just does not want to walk through the gate.
He doesn't want to go to work.
Dancing around out there.
Why can't I go early with the other horses? What am I, special?
And she still has not gotten them in. All right, second race today. Again, State Bred Maiden Specials, 5.5 on the grass.
My director's going, thank goodness it's a 9-race card. 10, 7, and 1 out on bail. My top pick here, like the last workout for Mike Maker. Sharp on debut. There was moisture in the racetrack. I didn't know what we were going to get. A little regression in the last start. So I don't know if on debut it was the moisture in the racetrack or the horse was sharp for debut and then regressed in the second start, which I'm very much dialed into. An offspring of Tis the Law for second. Number 7, Pay the Juice. August Dawn Farm. I think for a brief moment, Seth, they thought they had a winner in the 11th race until Hush of a Storm just ran over the top of everybody. But this is an offspring of Omaha Beach, who cost $200K. And for third from the rail, Wesley Ward sends out an offspring of Munnings, Pandemic Hero. Certainly easy to root for with Luis Saez. 10-7-1, which is your ballywick also.
Yeah, I'm just
you're quite amused by this.
Well, I think he or she just there they go now. I can't see in the tent here, but they finally. Well, I was thinking traffic must be long.
Well,
if you're sitting in a line of traffic, like maybe, go. But that horse did not want to walk through the gate.
On a Wednesday in week 3, it seems pretty docile.
Yeah,
right
at this time of day.
This is a good window.
But I don't think I've ever seen
it.
All I can think also is he or she getting in the gate. Didn't want to walk through the 10-foot opening there. But anyway, second race for me, 1, 7, 10, and 3. Thought the 9 was a little bit playable too. I wouldn't talk anybody off Army Proud. But again, I put Pandemic Hero on top. 3 of the 4 siblings were win early, not in their first starts, but one of them, Prince of Pharaohs, won in the second start. Candy Cane Lane, 4th, then 3rd, then a couple of wins. Another sibling called Chrome Dixie won in the second start. So again, they didn't win in debut, but they were win early types. Munnings on top, who's a win early sire. Wesley Ward, a win early trainer. I'll go with a lot of win early breeding and connections. I'll put Pandemic Hero on top. Second spot, Pay the Juice. Again, it is the coach, Bill Parcells, in August Dawn. Paid a decent amount of money for this one as a New York bred. Spent $200,000 after a 10-flat workout. Omaha Beach is a good win early sire. And then out on bail. Hey, experience counts. And this one's put in a couple of starts so far. But maybe more importantly, Irad Ortiz jumps on board. And you have a bullet workout that I think jumps off the page a little bit. So for me, 1, 7, 10, and 3.
It's surprising for Coach, the NFL and all their years against betting until they got a partner and could make money. Pay the Juice is definitely a gambling term for the horse racing, but good luck to Coach out there. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more from the spot. Does he have partners or is it just him? Because
yeah. Are you guys holding on me? Okay, it's a dark horse play of the day, I'm being told. That was on me. We usually do it after the
race
third.
3.
Yeah, we usually do it after the third, but I will jump in now.
Because it already went by, right? It was the first race, right? We've already gone over the race that you used.
Yeah, but I'm usually used to the third race, so it was on me. So the dark horse play of the day is Beach Blanket. They paid $77,000 for this horse. They try now for 20. Debuted going long on the turf, and now they're going to go short on the dirt. And I found that intriguing because I think this horse might be more talented than we saw in the debut. The debut wasn't much, but again, it was long on the turf. Now we go short on the dirt. There was a sibling called Blue Chipper that was actually $1 million earner, albeit in South Korea, but on the dirt. And that one came over and ran third in the 2019 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. So I thought the switch up to a dirt sprint might wake this one up, and I think we'll get all of that morning line off of the career debut. I think this one's very interesting. In the opener, race number 1, horse number 4, Beach Blanket, the dark horse play of the day, brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile and their sister store Impressions of Saratoga in downtown Saratoga. Swing by right on Broadway, and you will enjoy the visit. All right, now we'll head to a break. Stay tuned. Back in a few.
Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 102-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 102 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. On to the third race, State Breds, entry-level allowance. The fillies and mares going the dirt mile.
7, 1, 9, and 6. I'm going to put Malou on top, going out for Linda Rice off the claim. Claim for 16 moves into State Bred allowance. This is making the opposite class move of what I normally tout as a positive move. So I'm a little bit concerned here, but I think we will get some value. I'm just looking at the rest of this field. I think Malou's going to fit okay. So I'll go with 7 Malou on top. Shehana, I'm guessing Shehana, the one horse, 10-1 on the morning line. I thought off the maiden breaker, which was clearly, an improved effort. This horse had the possibility to put a couple like efforts together, I think. Lightly raced, and maybe that last one was a little bit of a, light bulb moment. So we'll count on that. And then Chasing Daylight in the third spot, been facing this kind over the past few and has been knocking on the door in the last two. I think he'll be a player again in the third. 7, 1, 9, and 6.
One of probably the central use I had early, Seth, on Beyer Speed Figure was the Beyer par that they put. Even though many races, and I think too many races, they have NA, which I don't understand how they don't have one for it. But I've used this for a long time. Seth told me the power of the Beyers in the betting that I learned, but this is a reach for everybody in this field. So typically I would not like a maiden claimer going into the 1X. It's just too tough. But this seems to be one of the lighter groups of this condition, which obviously we see with great regularity in New York. So my
I'm just looking. Has anybody even reached the par?
No. I think 70 is the big number, right? And that was not
Chasing Daylight has tied the par. He's got a 75.
All right, he's out there. Yeah.
She's got a 75.
Yeah. So that's and the race goes through Chasing Daylight, who you see I have in second, Seth has in third. But that's not any great shakes at 9-5. I'm looking to beat it. So I'm Scarlet Stream. You see I'm 4-9-1. Scarlet Stream coming out of, 2 out of 3 good efforts at this. The 2 good ones on the dirt. The poor one on the turf. 8-1, Tyler Gaffleone. I love Pat Reynolds as a trainer. Love him on Twitter. Down the road we go with Pat. For a second, chasing daylight, I can completely understand the race going through them. The par is really the giveaway because not only has this guy, has multiple in the 70s, so he has the most, she has the most on her resume. And then I have Horatio De Paz from the rail. Seth, very often, it would be a toss, even at 10-1. But I think this is one of the softer 1Xs.
Yeah,
so I'm comfortable breaking from the rail, which I think can be somewhat advantageous going the mile.
Fourth race this afternoon, we're looking at state-bred maiden claimers. They will be going the 1.5 turn mile.
Right. And as I said, I like today's card very much. I mean, I think it's a terrific gambling card. I truly hope the weather holds off. 9-1-8. Jansen going out for Andrew Lakeman. And obviously just Google Andrew Lakeman and you'll see one of the easiest people to root for in the game. They take blinkers off. Fernando Haro, who I thought many years ago was had a big upside when he won the Belmont Stakes. He was a young man. He's back in New York. Big ego for second. Comes back after being claimed for $40,000. And that's one of those examples. Linda Rice had to be sitting there going, don't run too well. Don't run too well. And then for third, Stanley Ruff comes back at 30 for the fourth consecutive time. The entire career for Richard Dutcher Jr. 9-1-8.
Yeah, they take a half a step down the claiming ladder for a big ego. So I'm going to go 1, 5, 10, and 4. Claimed, and as they say, they move down slightly. But I think it's just a clever move off the turf. Second place finish right here at Saratoga back on that Belmont Stakes weekend. Claimed away from powerful connections, and I think it's going to be a solid fit with this bunch. Barron's Bounce in the second spot. Another Linda Rice runner. This one with Irad Ortiz on board. Last effort was a little dicey, but there are some better ones down the page. The last effort was a move into the claiming ranks, and so that was a little bit disappointing as the beaten favorite. I'll give this one another shot, though, and I would expect will be a solid contender in here. And then Irene Mann in the third spot, the number 10 horse, 12-1 on the morning line. Charlie Baker horse, I think, coming off a couple of third-place finishes against similar, is very playable in this group. I have it 1, 5, 10, and 4.
All right, take a quick break. When we come back, more from Saratoga.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in front of Clare Court on a, right now it's actually getting brighter over there. So who knows? As I said, Seth, about the turn of the century, I stopped handicapping the weather. I just go forward and because the game is about adjustments, like you said about Moore's Law. You make adjustments. It rains, you handicap who scratches, you move forward. But right now, we're on the turf. It's a pleasant morning. And the 5th race, Claimers 2L, 8.5 on the inner.
And should have changed
Quick thing, I have to interrupt you, and that's terrible. On yours, because we use different ones sometimes, does it have a rail setting? Does it mention it? Doesn't on mine either, but I feel very confident the rails are going to be up. I mean, and my point is the form does it sometimes. It's not in here today, but I do believe the rails will still be up. That's kind of the modus operandi. So yours, because Seth uses the fancy dancy PPs. I use the old, fogey PPs, but neither one had the rails being.
It actually depends on when I print them up. Sometimes they don't come fancy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the ones you shoot me are always the fancy ones, which I appreciate.
It just depends on when you pull them up, actually.
I did not know
that. If it does happen to rain and move off, I have dirt pics over on the one sheet on capitalotv.com. But on the turf, and I have written up at the top of the page, and I underlined it a couple of times, this is a wide open race to me.
Absolutely.
I could have pointed in 8 different directions and had probably equal confidence. But I went 10, the 1 entry, 5, and 7. I like waitlist. It's Todd Fletcher. It's Irod Ortiz. The last race wasn't so much, but the races just before that were okay. Drops in for a tag today. Lightly raced. I like this horse. I'm clearly not in love with the post position, though. It's going to have to work from the post position, but I'll go there. Second spot, I did use the 1 entry, Internal Capital, and Devil's Got a Cause. Different trainers. Dallas Stewart has Devil's Got a Cause, who comes in off of a couple of allowance tries, the latest on the turf, and seemed to really appreciate the turf. Internal Capital moves up a little bit off the, on the claiming scale, but I think it's going to fit okay. Certainly there are some back numbers that are all right. I think both halves of the entry are playable in here. Mormino in the 3rd spot. This one's a little bit interesting. Moves out of the Asmussen barn and into the Norm Cassie barn and has yet to try the turf. But I thought this horse had a little bit of talent. First-time gelding symbol and moves in for a tag. I think playable, but I think another 5 of them are playable in here as well. I have a 10, the 1 entry, 5, and 7.
Now, what's funny is, and this is just anecdotally, and I'm never doing this analysis. A mile 16 on the inner with an outside post, I think, is tougher than a mile 16 on the Mellon turf course with an outside post. Even though you get a longer run into the first turn, I believe that. And that's the central reason, Seth, I always believe that Diana should be run on the main turf course, because it's one of the 3-4 most premier filly and mare turf races. Big bucks they run for. You're probably going to get 10, 11, or 12. And I just think the main turf course, you get a fairer run. My point is, hush of a storm, it might have been even harder on the inner turf course from the outside. And I have the 10 also, but I thought it was just a little bit too big. I have Sanderson on top. First time in for a tag. They add blinkers. Cherie Duval, obviously white hot at this meet, as is Manny Franco. I'll take them along with Sanderson. I'm on waitlist on the outside of the main body. Also, first time in for a tag. Comes out of a 1X with a tough, post position down at Monmouth. And I'm going to tell you, Seth, except for the fact that I thought you would laugh so hard and not be able to finish the show, I was going to put the 3 on top. But I have it in 3rd, and I believe her one and only, blinkers off with Katie Davis. I have to tell you, folks, I just didn't want to be too silly, but I think is live in here. That's all I'm going to say. I'll put it this way. We'll outrun the odds. I just think, but I couldn't put it on top. I felt like I'd lose you for the rest of the show if I put a 50.
Well, is outrun the odds you're guaranteeing in the money, or will run next to last? is guaranteed next.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the longest price of the board.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not running last.
That's what I thought.
I think I'll put it to you this way. I know you're not a huge baseball fan, but in the old days, they used to say upper division, lower. I think we'll finish in the upper half.
Okay.
At a big price. She's probably going to be better than 50 to 1.
6 race this afternoon. State bred optional claimers, non-winners of 2, 8.5 furlongs scheduled on the grass.
And this is one time, just because of the things. It says 14, 7, 2, and 5, and the 14 would have been heck to pay probably. If it comes off the turf, that's what are we talking? 4 o'clock. They're scheduling this race, so really it's 7, 2, 5. So Seth and I agree with overacting the Chad Brown. By the way, what did we have like a huge price Chad Brown the other day in the 20s? Maybe Saturday.
Moore's Law was Chad
30.
Brown.
That's right. So that's 30. So, but there was another one. He's had 2 bombs at this meet, so they don't all pay short. But I am 7-5 for the turf race, and coming out of the Mount Vernon, which wasn't a turf effort, I think we run very well. 3rd race in the cycle. They chose to stay in the Mount Vernon. I always find that interesting because I mean, I think this is something Chad Brown. I mean, if I was doing the show with you on June 9th, which I was, I'd be like, well, it's got to be coming out. You stayed in.
Chad often stays in, I think.
I know that, but sometimes like you lose your whole, what do they call it? You run down your heels or something. They run in the mud, but got him back. Overacting, I think, is in a great spot here. The 2X. I'm just kidding. John Kimmel's runner here. 2nd start since September, and for 3rd, spinning colors. So it's 7-5 as a turf race, but even money was Cinderella's cause on and off the turf.
7, 6, 3, and 5 for me. I will put overacting on top. Chad Klarovich, 3rd start of the season, back to the turf. Very good record on the turf. They tried the dirt with the 125,000 up for grabs. Didn't fare well in there, but I think getting back to turf and looking at the rest of this field probably has an edge. Not a huge edge, but a little bit of an edge perhaps. Can't fool me in the 2nd spot. Also 3rd start back, Horacio DePaz runner, and DePaz is having a nice meet as well. Comes in off a close-up 2nd, a nice win in the first couple of starts, was in very good form. 3rd start might be primed to even continue that going forward. And then Spooky Lady for Rudy Rodriguez, coming off a close-up 3rd place finish last time. Has a lot of early speed, should be prominent throughout. That's always dangerous. So for me, in the 6th, 7, 6, 3, and 5.
All right, one more. Honorable miss. Why is it the 8th race? Why is it the 7th race?
As I handicapped, I thought exactly the same thing.
I mean, I can see him moving it to
because
the 3rd
sometimes
or 4th.
moving it out of the sequence, but the 7th just seems strange. Yeah,
So at 4:34, the feature of the day, the honorable miss handicap, and there aren't too many of those left anymore. Handicap.
And what are we topping out at here? 122. So
That's kind of good. That's a fair number for a high weight.
Well, I don't know. I remember 4 ago. So
Wow.
8, 6, 4, and 1. I have Money's Gold on top. Had some nice stakes experience last year. Was a nice little 3-year-old filly for Todd Fletcher, and then came back Belmont Stakes weekend, an allowance event, and kicked off the 4-year-old season. I think in a fashion that sets this horse up nicely to return to stakes action. Gets the outside attack post position, so Money's Gold on top. Spirit Win's interesting. Mike Smith scheduled to be in town today after having ridden this one to a stakes victory down at Lone Star at the end of May. So that, I think, adds a little intrigue to the event this afternoon. And then clearly unhinged Steve Asmussen runner coming in off a couple of nice tries, most recently a couple of wins at Churchill, one of those being a stakes race. Numbers look a little light, but I think this horse is going to be a player in here. I have it 8, 6, 4, and 1.
Same. I have clearly unhinged at top, and it's. I kind of thought this would happen, and I think it even going forward, it's like I think for many people coming up here today, you see the test stakes. It just reads in a way that it wasn't really that way, etc. And I think that if you follow the game closely and your memory serves you well, that was the 86 buyer kind of is there in play, and repeated, that area. This is the third race of the year. My point is, if you're a casual fan, you're coming up today, the second by the head should have an asterisk next to it. I'll leave it at that. But I do think clearly Unhinged up here is in a good spot in the honorable miss. Coming off 2 in a row. Money's gold to me. The race goes through, as Seth has mentioned, making the first start, sense the test, and then Spirit win. The shipper comes in for Safi Joseph. So very intriguing. And my other thought with the honorable miss, Seth, is who do you think might be prepping for the ballerina? So who is it that this is the spot, or who is it that this is the help to get to the spot? Because, this is a grade 2 now, but the ballerina is a grade 1. So 486 for me.
All right. We'll head to another break.
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll complete our look at this Wednesday card at Saratoga. Stay tuned.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 102-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 102 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Welcome back. Wednesday afternoon, race number 8. We are looking at plain vanilla claimers, $40,000 tags, again, scheduled on the grass at 8.5 furlongs.
I know it sounds funny for a Wednesday because we think of Saturday. I don't want Mother Nature to interrupt this card. I know these classifications might not get your juices flowing and everything, but to me, on balance, competitive, larger fields, to me, that's what I need. You forget the 13 unless it comes off the turf. So it's 6-4-2 for me. I think the green room is getting crowded already, Mr. Seth.
That's what we like to hear.
6-4-2 for me in the turf contest. And if it comes off the turf, and I'm not playing that guessing game, you have the 13. So for me, it is 6, I said. So Safe Conduct, who is a big price in here. For Phil Serpe, hasn't run since April down in South Florida, has won on the Saratoga turf before. Street Ready, making the first start for Mike Maker since the Pan American. Obviously, a little step down, but if you parse through the mid-level claiming, it's solid. Then Bourbon Day. So 6-4-2 as a turf race for me.
8-2, 11, and 5. I'm going to put Kalick on top. Chad Brown runner. Third start of the season, first couple of starts were in optional claimers, was not in for the tag, now goes for the 40 tag. I think just getting a little bit realistic perhaps with a horse that early on had some, was flashing some talent. Hasn't quite lived up to that, but I think at this level in the third start back, Irad Ortiz on board, I think makes a lot of sense. Second spot, Bourbon Day, going out for Brad Cox. Nice win in the latest effort. That was the second start at Horseshoe Indy this season. The first one was a near miss. So coming in from out of town off of a couple of nice tries out at Indiana, has been working here, and I think is primed for a good effort this afternoon. Locally, and Peros in the third spot, the number 11. Linda Rice trainee comes off a win when dropped for this tag last time, so potentially has found a home at this 40 level. in the 8, 2, 11, and 5.
A lot of mile 16th races today. Flip flop with the trip. I want to get this in. I said he didn't leave it up. I'm 627 here. Tongue twister coming back second time in. We're exactly the same. I thought that's why I was looking up for an article that I found. I'll bring it up tomorrow more thoroughly. But I think Tongue Twister is a major player in here for Ray Handel, who's having a solid meet. Quiet Continental moves into Linda's Barn, runs for a tag again, and then Lose Redemption, first time in for a tag, may better this rating. But I agree, Seth, 627. And as I said,
Wait a minute, I haven't done 627 yet.
You haven't?
No, 627 for me as well. Tongue Twister on top, Ray Handel trainee, dropped to this level last time, ran 5th, but I have a feeling the horse is better than that. And again, it's one of those where you look at this particular field, I think is going to fit. Quite Continental going out for Linda Rice. Debut on the turf was one that's going to mix it up with these. The follow-up and the off the turf are not as much, but one was for a tag, one was made special weight, one was turf, one was not. I think we get back to the conditions we prefer. Lose Redemption in the 3rd spot, dropping in for a tag, could be a player in here. But I actually have written up here 6, 2, 7, and 10. The 4's in the mix, the 8's in the mix. So another race where too many. It's a fun way to wind up the day. I pulled up because we mentioned Fernando Jara before.
Yes.
And for folks who don't remember, he did get off to that blazing start to the career, and then had spent quite a while in Dubai.
Yes.
And he was over there for a long time. Came back here last year, rode a Gulfstream for a while. I think he was riding at Lone Star a little bit earlier this year.
When you go to his stats, how many mounts in the United States?
I was just looking down. Yeah, he was at Lone Star for a while. He's been at Monmouth recently. So it's interesting to see him back here at Saratoga. But, 6,000 starts, 6,500 starts, 739.
And the reason I denoted was he was young and I think on the strong ascent. And, he made a career choice, etc. And it will be interesting if he gets back to that place. I mean, this is maybe not the colony you want to try and do that because, and we've said it all the time, it's the real.
He's been riding in Monmouth. I would think this is a day trip.
Yeah, you're right. They're closed, so but it's.
Won the Belmont on Jazzo at a price. And won the Breeders' Cup Classic on Invasor.
Yes, ran down Bernardini. Bernardini inside Invasor, who I think only lost one race in his career on the outside. I think Bernardini had a cough that week. I don't think Tom Albert could train him the way he wanted to. I don't think he was because, I know it's always overshadowed that Barbaro broke down, but I maintain this, and I have Brian Netto agrees. He was never beating Bernardini that day. I mean, Bernardini for a lot of people was a nobody going into that race. I knew him from the Withers, and then I don't think he was beating Bernardini at all that day. Bernardini went on to be the 3-year-old champ and a quality stallion, not a great stallion, but a quality stallion. Anything else? What do you have?
I will hit Sean Clance.
I didn't have my long distance glasses, but it looked like that's Sean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sean will be in from the Saratoga Special, and we'll have Tom Amello for a little bit. I hopefully tomorrow. I was trying to get Katie Davis and her dad, Robbie Davis. They've got a little.
Today would have been the day, the 50-1 shot.
Well, but Saturday night they're part of a charity event over at the harness track. Katie will be on. I think they call it one of the Trotters Under Saddle. And you and I get on Saturday morning watching on France where they're betting on them before we start the Handicappers Report. So she'll have a little match race there. And Robbie's going to be in a sulky with a match race. So that's all going to be Saturday night at the harness track. And I wanted to get him, but Robbie said, I'm over doing a little practice right now. Or 10 o'clock, he said. So we'll try to get them in tomorrow, I think is going to be the game plan. But today it's going to be Sean and Tom Amello with some trip notes.
I bet Robbie Davis's first Saratoga winner. I think the first time I won a race was after the last race, the 9th race after Island World's 1983 Whitney victory by a nose, and I think it was downstage. One of the few daily doubles I've hit in my life, the late daily double with Island World and downstage. But I think that was Robbie Davis's first win at Saratoga. I'm looking that up too.
Man. Your memory and my memory are like on two different universes.
Well, which universe is yours on? Because
mine is not. I wouldn't come close to being able to pick out. Yeah, I think I had Robbie Davis's first winner at Saratoga. I have enough trouble remembering my first winner at Saratoga.
All right, but it's just, I guess so. But it's like I don't know. But I think it's his first win. I'm gonna ask him next time I see him.
I'll trust you.
Well, it's funny was
the Brooklyn Cowboy tweeted me a picture. I guess he was at a play a couple weeks ago, and he had a picture of himself and Mary Lou Henner, which I appreciated because I was a big Taxi fan. But Mary Lou Henner used to go on like the Tonight Show, and they would throw dates at her. They would say January 19th, 1972, and she'd tell what day it was and what she did, who she was talking to.
Mary Lou Henner is in a group that of all 9 billion of us, right? There's like not a baker's dozen with memory.
No, it's
She's
wild.
In
They
that
used
group,
to
everything.
They used to do it all the time on the Tonight Show. It was very funny.
Okay, let's hoping our son can do it. He stays, I go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope. I think it's a fantastic card. Hopefully the weather plays nicely because it's very, very bettable card in my opinion. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.